Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2023 Ford Expedition Timberline.
And a huge thanks to Zach and the rest of the management and staff here at Ford of Port Richey for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or truck in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Zach.
And as most of you guys probably know by now, the Expedition took over the Bronco as Ford's full-size SUV back in 1997. That's when the first generation was released. The second generation Expedition was released in 2003, and that was a big deal as it became the first ever full-size SUV with a four-wheel, fully independent suspension. In 2018, the fourth generation that you see here was released, refreshed in 2022, featuring an interior similar to the new F-150, a new digital instrument cluster, Sync 4A, and choices between a 12 or a 15.5-inch touchscreen. 2022 also brought alongside the Timberline trim that you see here, featuring the higher output 3.5-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6, making 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Basically the same power plant as the Raptor, but the Raptor makes 10 more horsepower. This makes the exact same amount of power as the limited stealth performance Expedition, also new for 2022. The Timberline is equipped similarly to a well-loaded XLT, not quite as loaded as the Limited that we just reviewed in this channel. We get unique styling and interior trims and accents, all-terrain tires which are about 33 inches. Ford claims that they're 32-inch tires, but the exact dimensions are, I believe, 32.7, so rounding up they're about 33s. We get a front skid plate, heavy-duty off-road suspension with trail turn assist and zone lighting with a base price at $71,400. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your unique styling with a full black grille, similar light pattern to the rest of the Expeditions, full LEDs for the high and low beam, 4 separate zones for the LEDs, LED daytime running strip up top and down low. Full LED fog light too, hopefully you can pick it up on camera, full front parking sensing, we get the 360 here on the Timberline, front facing camera, and a mountain range, which is specific to the Timberline trims in the Ford lineup. Orange stripe too, also specific to the Timberline trim, blue metallic paint color. It's a little bit dirty, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. I believe it's a $600 or $700 option, maybe $500. Continuing along to the wheel and tire setup, this is one of the biggest reasons why you would go for the Timberline. It's these beefy, almost 33-inch tires. They're Goodyear Wrangler all-terrains, the dimensions being 265/70 R18. I'd expect at least 285 wide tires for this SUV, but 265 are still beefy enough. 18-inch rims and almost 33 inches tall. Black Y-spoke rims are also impressive. Hopefully you can pick up the suspension setup, at least up front. For the Timberline, you see your heavy-duty shock. Pretty solid amount of ground clearance. I'll leave a link right here, show you exactly how much ground clearance we get, which is helped by these pretty high rising floorboards or running boards. Not quite as low as they were in the Limited we reviewed, but that also helps with the ground clearance. 4-door smart access. We have body color window trim up top, body color B-pillar, black or C-pillar, blacked out B-pillar, and a body color A-pillar, pretty dark tints out rear too, blacked out roof rails. Hopefully I can reach up high enough so you can pick up the panoramic Vista roof, which is part of the high equipment package for the Timberline, costing about $5,000, but it comes equipped with absolutely everything. We'll take a step back. Hopefully you can pick up the side profile of this menacing Timberline SUV. We get some aluminum trim for the bottom part of the window trim, additional camera for the 360, and a zone light, LED turn signal on the glass, blacked out mirror. Glass fills up the entire frame. Blind spot monitoring on the glass. We mentioned the 4-door smart access, another Timberline trim for the C-pillar, blacked out hatch too. More of that shiny chrome. Continuing, the gas cap is a push to open with easy fill. I recommend 91 plus premium fuel for this high output 3.5-liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6. We get full LED taillights. I'm kind of scared of this little creek back here. I've seen a bunch of turtles. Hopefully no gators pop out to say hi. But out rear, Timberline badge, Expedition badge too. It's body color with red accents, Ford badge right up top, wiper, third, brake light with an additional zone light right next to it. Full rear parking sensing, tow hitch. We have the high tow package here on this Timberline trim. I'll leave a link right here, show you what this SUV is rated to tow. We'll take a squat back here, get a look at your dual outlet single exhaust tip, spare tire, fully independent rear suspension, available on the Expedition since 2003. They were the first to do it. But speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this high output 3.5-liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6 and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the high output 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6 sold by Ford for the 2023 Expedition Timberline. It sounds okay, but it makes a ton of power at 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Made it to this all-wheel drive system and 10-speed automatic transmission. You can expect this near 6,000 pound beast SUV to get to 60 in the low 5-second range, maybe even quicker. I believe Car and Driver tested it at like 4.9 seconds, which is absolutely ridiculous. About 2 full seconds quicker than a Chevy Z71. But again, what you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right down. The hydraulic struts are appreciated, but to be expected with an SUV in this price point. As far as the interior, speaking of SUVs in this price point, let's see what we get for the money. Again, we get 4-door smart access, blind spot monitoring on the glass. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So similar pattern to the Limited, but the materials aren't quite as advanced. We had the mahogany leather. Here we just have the standard leather that we would get from the XLT high package. Cushy soft armrest though. Door handle just like the F-150, 4-window auto-on touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable, 3-person memory seats, and a booming Bang & Olufsen sound system. Solid storage down below too. You'll fit a foot long here and here. You probably fit 2 20-ounce water bottles to wash it down. The running board runs for the front and back passengers. The seats are also really impressive. Not quite as gushy and premium as the Limited we reviewed, but definitely nicer than most XLTs. We get full leather seats, heated and ventilated, perforated for the center, and the brown Timberline contrast stitching all throughout. 2-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. And before we step inside, we have this cool design as we step inside for the Timberline. You got your Expedition down below in a city, some mountain ranges, really cool design. Not quite sure what it does, but it does have it here for the Timberline. Taking a step inside, we can really check out this interior. Hopefully we're not killed with the glare too bad because we're surrounded by a lot of trees and it's a pretty sunny day. Before I suffocate to death, foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. It says 83 degrees outside, but it feels a lot hotter than that. First thing we notice though is the steering wheel. It's kind of similar to the F-150. It's pretty thick. We get a 10-2 bolstering notch. 9.3 fits very well in your hands. 3 spokes down below for both armrests and a 6 o'clock spoke if you want to be reckless and drive with your hand on your lap. We'll turn these cooled seats down because they're very loud, but the cooled seats are definitely appreciated here for this Timberline trim. The horn area is rubberized. The horn itself, pretty aggressive sounding horn. People should definitely be getting out of your way. We'll do a window check real quick, see if we get dual panes. We do get dual panes for the Timberline. Also a premium touch. On the left side of the steering wheel, volume and voice commands, lane keep assist, and radar cruise control. On the right side, you can skip your songs, hang up and answer your phone calls, and the adjustments for the infotainment. Speaking of the infotainment adjustments, right now we're looking at the seatbelt not being on me, my view, trip and fuel, vehicle information, towing, navigation, phone, audio, and overall settings all can be adjusted in this Expedition. Personally, I'd rather leave it in trip and fuel under fuel economy. On the left side, we have a tach that goes to about 6,200. On the right side, speedometer goes to 160. That's up from the 140 mile-an-hour speedometer we had in the Limited. Up top, we have our coolant temperature, oil temperature, turbo boost pressure, and our fuel level all up top. The dashboard, we have gushy leather, contrast stitched in Timberline orange for the front portion. The back portion of the dashboard is all hard plastic. I complained about it in the Limited trim, expecting to have a full padded soft plastic dashboard, but we still don't get that here, of course, on the Timberline. Wouldn't be expected if it wasn't there on the Limited. It's not going to be here on the Timberline because, as you mentioned, the Timberline is based off of a well-loaded XLT. More of that leather stitch trim outside of it. You can drop the third row headrest with a click of a button, so if you're driving and the headrests are in your way from the rear view mirror, you can simply press a button and the headrests fall. Trunk release, automatic headlamps, fog lights, the zone lights for the mirrors, interior brightness 2, electronic parking brake, and adjustable pedals. Really convenient feature if you share this vehicle with a shorter driver. Hood latch release, hopefully you get a good look at the pedals, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, auto rain sensing wipers for the front and the back. To the right of the steering wheel, we have our engine start stop button and our Pro trailer steer mode, trailer brake controller 2, 15.5-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you press this Expedition button, you can see your camera at all times, forward-facing camera, and a really high-resolution 360. We still have the plastic on the screen. I'll leave it on for the purpose of this review. I'll let the potential owner of this vehicle take all the plastic off. We have zone lighting, trail turn assist, and valet mode. Settings too. We have sound settings, Sirius mode, or Sirius XM, phoneless, driver assistance, vehicle, and general settings all can be adjusted. You press this home button, you can see everything that's available: radio, phone, navigation, media, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Sketch. We've reviewed Sketch countless times on this channel. You can basically draw, do shortcuts through the little drawing pad on your touchscreen. It's a pretty cool feature. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the navigation screen, which is super high resolution, great response, back and forth, basically just like an iPhone. Huge thumbs up for the new Sync 4A system. Beneath that, we have shortcuts with the phone, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius, Bluetooth, all of that. Beneath that, climate. I wish we had hard buttons for the climate, but it's still very good response. Large touchscreen buttons, so you don't really have to look around, feel around for it. I wish it gave us a vibration like we had in Audi for its touchscreen, but still no complaints. Very configurable, very user-friendly touchscreen. Beneath that, hazards, trash control you can disable, and the max defroster does come with hard buttons. That is appreciated. Beneath that, some storage, wireless charging pad, USB-A and USB-C port. The gear selector controls the 10-speed automatic transmission with manual mode, but there's really no buttons to control the manual mode outside this minus and the plus. Rear differential locker, drive mode selector outside of your 2 high, 4 low, 4 auto, and 4 high. We'll start the review off in 2 high, maybe we'll do an acceleration off the line in 4 auto, and just see how much better the power gets put to the ground. Drive mode selector, we have normal, slippery, sand, mud, ruts, eco, sport, and tow haul mode. I kind of don't really like Ford's layout, how sport is so far away from normal, but not a big deal. We'll start the review off in normal, transition into sport, and just see what the differences are. This button controls your trail control with 1 pedal drive. Parking sensors you can disable. That's nice for off-road environments, so the brakes aren't just getting slammed on you and it's not just beeping at you the whole time. 2 cup holders, you'll fit 20, maybe 24-ounce cups in there. If you'd like to see the key that we get in the Expedition, pretty basic remote start, double click for the trunk release. Nice. Continuing along though, we have this gushy soft leather armrest with a ton of space. We got at least enough space for a 12-pack of 2-liter bottles of soda. You'll fit 4, maybe 5 bowling balls in here. Absolutely massive console space. The second tier, you'll fit like 4 iPhones on it, coin slot, and a nice slot for business cards. You can put some pens on the bottom part of the console too. Huge thumbs up to Ford for this really massive console. 2 tiers of glove boxes. You'll fit a shoe in there with no problem. Maybe a pair if you're under a size 6. Beneath that, it's not damp, but it's very wide. You can probably fit 20 license plates in here. You'll probably fit a pair of shoes in there with no problem, thanks to the really impressive width. Auto dimming rear view mirror, it's not frameless, not a big deal though. The interior lights are LED, 3 garage HomeLink settings on the visor, sunglass holder, and the panoramic Vista roof, which is part of the $5,000 high package here for the Timberline. But that package comes with so many other features. The glass goes underneath the second panel of glass. We'll see how far it goes, very far. See if it goes out any further, we'll move the shade out of the way completely. And we can finish opening up the roof. It goes out insanely far, all the way out to the second row. Super wide opening. It's a beautiful day today in Port Richey. It's sunny and 83 according to this Expedition Timberline. We can shut this glass right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back and into the third row, you can see how much light is brought into the cabin. That's about it though for the front seat of this 2023 Expedition Timberline. Let's take a quick look at this window sticker. See everything that we have available. Standard features are up top. You can pause, take a look at all of those. The Equipment Group 501A, I apologize, that's a $9,200 option. Wow. But we get a panoramic Vista roof, voice activated touchscreen navigation, which is 15.5 inch for the LCD screen, 18-inch magnetic painted aluminum rims, running boards, platinum black. We get tri-zone electric temperature control, Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, control track with 373s, remote start, heavy duty radiator, reverse sensing system, second row heated seats, third row 60/40 power folding seats, and privacy tinted rear glass, all for $9,200. $495 for the blue tinted clear coat, $795 for the trailer heavy duty package, $50 credit for the second row window not being auto one touch, and the auto start stop removal is also a $50 credit, which I'm definitely appreciative of. I'd personally pay to have it removed, so not a big deal by me. Advanced cargo manager for $335, $1,800 destination and delivery charge totals us out a tick over $84,000. Fuel economy, not the best, but also not bad for a full-size SUV, 17 mpgs, 15 city, 19 on the highway. I'm sure anybody driving a full-size SUV would not complain about 17 mpgs. If we didn't mention though, there's an additional 12 volt here, nice spot for a radar detector so it's not just flopping around. That's it though for the front seat. Let's hop out back, hop out into the third row and see how much space is offered back there. So again, smart access for the second row seats. We'll lift this second row seat up. Of course, we get captain chairs back here. Up top, we get more of that 2-tier leather trim material, that Timberline orange stitching. The middle portion's leather too, hard plastic right here though. Cushy soft armrest, F-150 door handle, auto one touch for the window. Bang & Olufsen speaker, massive storage. You'll probably fit 2 footlongs here, 24-ounce water bottle to wash it down, and a 20-ounce water bottle up top. 2 speakers on the door panel. Taking a step inside, that nameplate continues. It says Ford on it. We get 2 step pads, one for the second row seat, one for the third row seat. The rear seat's basically zero bolstering, but we still get that orange contrast stitching, perforation in the center, and heated second row seats. Legroom looks absurdly impressive. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have a ton of space. Easily almost a foot of knee room. We can see if we can slide back any further. We can. Unbelievable amount of space, over a foot of knee room, unlimited room for my feet, mat pocket behind the driver and the front passenger. Headroom, I have at least 2-3 inches, and I can recline these seats back, and then I'll have far more headroom too. 2 cup holders, part of the center console. You'll fit 24-ounce water bottles with a pass-through, good spot for a phone, a USB-A and USB-C port, full 3rd zone climate control, and an AC adapter back here as well. Additional storage, 12 volt. Might be wondering, where exactly are the air vents for this 3rd zone climate? They blow directly in your face, just like I like them. The interior lights are LED, and we have a hook for a suit or a dress. The light brought into the cabin thanks to this massive moonroof is also very impressive. That's about it though for the second row seat. Let's hop out into the 3rd row, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this car out for a drive after checking out the cargo space. So the only way we're going to be able to actually open up the 3rd row is by hopping out into this cargo space. Press this button down below. And we haven't mentioned yet, but this has a 2-tier opening tailgate. I'll show you guys that in 1 second. But as far as the 3rd row seat, let's lift it up. And as you see, we click of a button, the 3rd row left seat comes right up. So we'll drop this tailgate right down, click of a button too, take a step out into the 3rd row. Should be a pretty easy process thanks to this running board and foot plate. Looks like it didn't close because of the floor mats. But anyways, taking a step inside, we'll pull the seat right back where it was. And as you see, I have a ton of knee room, at least 3 inches of second row knee room. Headroom, I have at least 1 inch of space. Air vent blows directly into your face. I definitely appreciate that. 2 cup holders and additional storage, USB-A port. And these buttons right here actually recline the seat. As you see, you can recline the seat up and down with a click of a button. Also a really premium feature. That's about it though for this 3rd row space. Let's hop back out of here, check out the cargo space, fold the 3rd row seats down, and then take this car out for a drive. Second row seats right back where they were. Shut the door. The wind's starting to pick up pretty decently. We'll drop these 3rd row seats right down by click of a button. The headrest should follow in its footsteps too. Yep, there we go. Nice, and hopefully you can pick up the massive cargo space here. Subwoofer in the corner for the Bang & Olufsen sound system will push this floor mats out of the way. So if you plan on keeping the 3rd row seat permanently up and you don't want to go up to the Expedition Max, you can remove this tray permanently and you have about an extra foot, maybe 2 cubic feet of space outside of this tray with the fixed flat kit on the right side. But hopefully you can pick up the size of this floor. It is massive. You fold those second row seats down, I don't think there's a TV that can not fit in the back of this Expedition. If this isn't enough space for you, you can go with the Max, which stretches the Expedition up by another foot. But again, what you see is basically what we get. Additional LED lights for the interior. We have some cargo hooks, which can help you tie some stuff down in emergencies. You have some more hooks for the bottom portion, some storage in the corner, and buttons to recline 3rd row seats, even for the passenger, and an additional 12 volt. If you have a electrical cooler and you're going on a long trip, you can plug it in and all your food will still be cold when you get to your destination. We can shut this tailgate down by press of a button. And as you mentioned, the glass for the Expedition also opens. So you press this button right here, you can lift up the glass, and this is a game changer. If you have pets, you can load up groceries in here with the pets in the trunk and not to worry about them jumping out. If you have kayaks, you can poke 2 kayaks out of your Expedition and no reason to upgrade to an actual truck. Absolute game changer. Very few SUVs still do it, and I'm impressed to see the Expedition is one of them. We can shut this right back down, walk around this 2023 Expedition Timberline one more time. It's an impressive SUV. Honestly, I've reviewed quite a few full-size SUVs. So far, this is probably my favorite. If I went full-size for an SUV, this or a BMW X7, it'll be tough to decide. But what you see is basically what we get. Let's take this beast out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2023 Expedition Timberline. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. So
Stepping out of the 2023 Grand Cherokee Summit with the air suspension, let's take a look at the ride quality. It feels just as soft, if not softer. We can try out these really big bumps, see how this Timberline can handle them. We'll throw them in a little quicker than we should. Massive bumps, hopefully you can pick them up on camera, but this SUV drives over it like it's absolutely nothing. We'll drive over them again one more time. Turning radius is really sharp, especially considering the size of this SUV. Looks like we're good. Over the bumps. Boom. This thing is a monster. Sensitive throttle too. The brakes feel very good for a large SUV. Take a step out here. Looks like you have a chance. Get situated and on the gas. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, this thing is a monster. We'll throw it in, see how the steering feels. It feels a little bit floaty. You can move the wheel quite a bit without changing directions. On the brakes, yeah, I mean the body roll is limited. The handling is solid. It's just the steering could feel a little bit sharper and more direct. It feels a little bit truckish. We'll run over some speed bumps over here. See how this Timberline can handle them. Yeah, the steering is just too light. I wish they gave us some heavier steering. That's the only improvement that I can think of. But over the speed bumps, it's like they don't even exist right here. High speed. Boom. It's like less than a pothole. You don't feel anything. One more time. Boom. It's an absolute monster. You can test out the body roll and turning radius. Look at this. Body roll is so limited for a full-size SUV. Turning radius is impressive. Guys, this thing feels so much smaller than it really is. I just wish the steering felt a little bit more like GM-esque with the tightness and on center feel. But over the speed bumps, this thing feels like such a monster. We'll try it out in four-wheel drive auto. Hopefully get a chance to do an acceleration off the line, and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, four-wheel drive auto, little bit of a brake torque, and on the gas. Oh yeah. Beast. Absolute beast. Brakes feel good. Throwing it in. I mean, the handling is solid. I can't complain with the handling. I just wish the steering felt a little bit more tighter on center. We'll throw it into sport. See if anything changes up. Okay, the transmission's more sensitive, that's for sure. Yeah, way more eager to downshift. We'll throw it in. See how the steering changes up. If it changes up. Yeah, a little bit more weight. I'd probably recommend leaving it in sport simply for the steering, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to deal with the lower fuel economy. I wish they gave us the sport steering standard. Like the Grand Cherokee we reviewed had definitely more heft through the wheel. And personally, I prefer that. I know a lot of people prefer the light steering feel, but with large SUVs like this, I'd actually rather have a more connected feel with the car. All right, guys, taking a step out onto this multiple lane highway. We'll lean into it a little bit more on the gas. Ooh! Yeah! Good Lord, this thing just pulls, and pulls. It feels so strong. I could definitely see 0 to 60 happening in the low 5-second range. Maybe even quicker. You might be able to get it in the 4s if you launch the absolute crap out of this thing in four-wheel drive. It is a fast SUV, especially considering the weight of this thing. All right, guys, we can try out a real world turning radius. As you see, for a full-size SUV, this thing is sharp on the gas. Oh, monster. Oh, we're gonna have to push it a whole lot farther than that. This thing is a beast. If you're looking for a off-road capable SUV, but you need 3 rows, this is a great way to go. I can't think of a single other 3-row SUV that's this capable off-road, this spacious, and this quick. Maybe the Explorer Timberline, but the Explorer Timberline, honestly, it's not this quick, and it's not this off-road capable, and it's not this spacious for any of the passengers. Yes, it's about $15,000-$20,000 cheaper. Well, $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper if you don't go with this $9,200 high equipment group package. But this is just such a sweet SUV. We reviewed the Limited on this channel, and I said that for the money, I can't justify paying for any midsize SUV $70,000. This is a base price around $70,000 too. I can't justify paying 70,000 bucks for any mid-size SUV. If this is the level of performance, luxury, capability, and tech that you get from a $70,000 Expedition. Take another step out here. Light throttle, it just feels so ridiculously strong. Watch this, passing power about third throttle. Oh yeah, boost, and it just passes so ridiculously easy. This is such a powerhouse of an engine. If you're looking for a full-size or just any SUV, you're looking for a 3-row SUV with good off-road capability, solid space for 7-8 full-size adults with all the tech you could possibly want or need, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Expedition. If you prefer luxury over off-road capability, check out the Limited. You still get a higher output engine. It's not as high output as this, but you get about 25 more horsepower compared to a regular Expedition, about 10 pound-feet more of torque. And it's more luxurious than this Timberline, but if you prioritize actual capability, this Timberline is still more than luxurious enough in my opinion. Check out both. Check out the Limited and check out the Timberline, but me personally, I'd probably go with the Timberline. And a big thanks to Zach at Ford of Port Richey for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Port Richey, Clearwater, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for Zach. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.